Why, hello everyone, and welcome to Stefan's podcast, the only podcast for everything Japanese news and what's going on in the big wide world of Hiroshima. Hope you're having an absolutely lovely day. We have got some great news stories for you, so let's jump straight into them. The first news story is that Japan's population is down almost 1 million people from last year. From last year, it's down 900,000, would you believe it? Good Lord, where are the Japanese people going? They're just disappearing. They need to start having some more births. It's getting ridiculous. And the next news story that is combined with this is Japan is becoming a little bit anti-foreigner at the moment. There is one big Japanese party, I should say, which has done very well in the polls, and the media at the moment is a little bit anti-foreigner, seems to be every single country in the world. America is the same, UK is the same at the moment, and it seems every time I look at different countries' news articles, news websites, they're all going for a very Trump feel of being like, foreigners are bad, and everything that is happening that is bad is because of all the foreigners. And I'm like, is it really? Is it really? I feel like you guys not having enough children at the moment is a bit of a problem, and the foreigners are only 1 or 2% of your problems. It's not looking good in Japan. They have just stopped a load of they're stopping, I should say, they haven't completely stopped it yet. They're stopping eligibility for foreign people to get access to PhD grants. There's a lot of things that are coming in Japan. So if you want to move to Japan, maybe sooner rather than later is the time, because I suspect possibly in the next 5-10 years, they're going to make it more and more difficult to move here. I mean, it's already hard enough to move here. Job opportunities are not overly high at the moment. In fact, last month their job availabilities are actually down by not very much. It's only like 0.2%, but they are going down. So if you do want to move to Japan, do it sooner rather than later, because I don't like where all these countries are going at the moment. The UK is the same. Every news story that I click on at the moment seems to be somewhat related to foreign people moving in. I'm very glad I don't live in the UK anymore, because all I see is news stories from that GB News, and good Lord, that is a treacherous news site. That is pretty much just designed just to make everyone hate each other. What an awful news company that is at the moment. I don't like the way that that's running at the moment. This is from me being outside. I don't get to see it. All I see is clips on Instagram. But every single thing, it's always, people on benefits, they're bad. Foreigners, they're bad. Everyone is bad. And I was like, yeah, why don't we start pointing this at the reason we're in this mess? Companies and making too much profit and not giving it out a little bit to their employees, not hiring enough people, using AI now so you don't have to employ people. Oh, baby. Would you like to share the wealth around? No, absolutely not. Are billionaires becoming more billionaires? Yes, they are. They're making a lot of money. A lot of money, baby. And I've got nothing for that. If you want to make some money, but come on, there comes a point where you're just taking advantage of people, and it's everywhere. Japan, UK, USA, everywhere in the world. A lot of the problems seem to be down to the same group of people who are making a lot of money. And everywhere I go, all the companies are the same. If there's an opportunity to make money out of you, they certainly will. If it's their fault, let's say I accidentally book a wrong night in a hotel, they will charge me double. If they do something and accidentally say I book a hotel and they're actually full, well then, it's also my problem. Flying is the same. If they accidentally do something, they have to cancel a flight. Oh no, sorry, we've just cancelled your flight. Oh, there's no recourse for that whatsoever. You're stuffed. You're just going to have to pay for your trip home yourself. But if I accidentally book the wrong flight on the plane, oh baby, it's all my fault, and we're going to charge you 8 times as much as humanly possible. Oh, how I love the way things are going. It's not great. It is not great, but that's the rant about Japan. Japan is becoming an interesting place to live. It's getting less foreigner friendly. Not that when you look at Japan historically, it's never been overly foreigner friendly. When you look at the fact that the Americans had to literally force America open with a blockade this is like, we're talking 200 years ago. Japan did not want to open to the West at all, and it took a navy ship pulling up and being like, well, you are going to open, or we're going to start firing, to make it open. So yeah, we're going to see what happens with Japan in the next coming years and how it works. I'm not sure where it's going to go. It's interesting, but it is going to get harder to move here. I think they are putting in, just more restrictions since I've been here. They've now opened a new office, which is targeted just at foreigners in their government department. I'm not too sure yet what they're actually going to do, what their role is. It's going to play out over time what happens, but it's not good. I don't like where it's going at the moment. It's not overly nice. Will it affect me staying here long term? Possibly. We shall see. We shall see how it goes in the future with everything. But speaking of things, we're going to do a nice news story. We're going to move away from all the bad Japan stuff at the moment. But Darth Vader's lightsaber, the prop used in, I believe it's the second movie, the second or the fourth movie. Oh, Star Wars is so confusing. In the second movie that came out in the 70s or 80s, Darth Vader's lightsaber has gone up for sale, the prop that he used to cut off Luke's hand, which is pretty cool. And it's going for about £3 million. The lightsaber is on tour at the moment. It's in the UK and being shown in different places. And what a prop that would be. When you look at cinema history, that's got to be one of the top props that you can buy, I would have thought, apart from maybe Darth Vader's actual helmet. That is good. It's going to go for apparently about $3 million for a lightsaber, for a hunk of metal. That is amazing, isn't it? Some people have more money than me. But it was used in two movies, The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So it's been in two of the movies. Probably the most iconic weapon of everything. I can't think of a more iconic weapon than a lightsaber in cinematic history, but that's cool. I wonder how much that will go for. And I wish I had bought it. And I wish I had the money to buy it. But there we go. Although if I had the money, imagine that, you having just $3 million just to burn on a lightsaber. That is possibly when you have too much money. I think that is safe to say. If you can easily go and buy a $3 million lightsaber, that's when you go, I am stinking rich and I should do something better with this money. I certainly should. Next news story for you coming up. Oh, this is a cool one. ANA are looking at launching an affordable flying taxi service in Japan in 2027. So they're going to launch it to start with in Tokyo, which is really, really cool. And the distance it's going to travel is about 60 to 90 minutes in... which kind of takes? So the sort of distances that they're going to do to begin with aren't like giant distances. They're only like 15-20 minute rides to start with, but this is very, very interesting. I would love to see this in something like Tsushima, where it just makes weird noise going on, where it would just make my life just a little bit easier. If you could book a taxi, like an air taxi living on an island, oh my good Lord, your life would become significantly better. It would make all these remote islands much more livable, and it would possibly stop Japan's island population going down and down. Because one of the worst things about living on an island is having to get off and on to the mainland. It's expensive, and also just the times of all the stuff don't always work out. So, like, let's say where I live now. There are 3 ways to get to Tsushima. I've said them before: fast boat, slow boat, and plane. But after, I think it's after like 3:30, there are no more boats in the day. So the only way that you can get to the mainland is by plane. And of course, if you're going for a weekend, you're going to want your Friday night, so you have to fly. But if they had these taxi options available, you wouldn't have to get on the big plane with everyone else. You could time it around your day, which would be much better. By the looks of these little plane things, I don't know how well they would work like landing places, because the one that they've got on the screen here kind of looks like an airplane mixed with a helicopter. A helicopter would work better because you could land almost anywhere. But yeah, we shall see. I'm excited by these things and where they're going to go. I suspect they won't make it to islands for a long, long time. They're going to probably try and keep them in places like Tokyo because there's just so many people around there. So more people equals more customers, more people willing to pay for these expensive things. We shall see. I'm excited by this. I really am. I don't think these are going to be everywhere in the world. I don't think we're going to live in a place where like air travel becomes the new car, because these are more expensive, they take more maintenance, they are noisy, which has always been a big problem with these. I mean, no one wants to live by an airport because they're so noisy unless you work in aviation. But yeah, they're tough. Interesting things. I'm excited by this affordable taxi service. I'm excited that it's going to be in Tokyo. I'm excited for this. I'm very, very rarely excited about news and what's going on, and this is a good one. Bring it to Tsushima. I honestly think something like this would do very, very well in a like remote island, like an island with a big population. These would work very, very, very well. I think. I'm not entirely sure. Like, just imagine. I can't even tell you how much of a luxury it would be just to be able to say, I want to go to Fukuoka right now. I'm going to Fukuoka. I don't have to make big plans. I don't have to do anything. I can just like get on my phone, Uber a taxi, the thing comes in 20 minutes, bish bang bosh, before I know it, I'm up in the air, I'm landed, I'm done. But they do pose a question like air travel at the moment. You have to have security to go on it. With these, I imagine you don't have to go through security. So, interesting things. Interesting. Air travel. The way of the future, baby, and I am down for it. As I am a cup of tea, always. Now, our next news story for you is Japan is using a little bit of common sense, which doesn't always go hand in hand together with Japan, but there we go. It's the summer, right? It's 40 degrees. It's very hot at the moment. And the high school kids and the junior high school kids are still doing their sports clubs. And good on them, because it is a fiery hot hell. I go to badminton once a week in the gym, in a gymnasium here. That is in the evening. So that's 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And even in that, I am like dropping, and I'm not joking, buckets of sweat. If you saw what I look like in that running video I did the other day, where I saw a dolphin as I was going running. At the beginning, you see me take off my glasses and how much sweat comes off me. Imagine that 10 times in a gym. It's just brutal, absolutely brutal. But to combat this, Japan's baseball tournaments, which they have quite a lot throughout the year, they're putting on their first evening event. So they're doing it under spotlight, which is so much better for not only fans, because parents want to come and watch, and you cannot watch it. You cannot just sit in that sun. It's horrible. But also for the players. This is a good thing for player safety. Honestly, I think if the schools want to continue their like sports clubs at the moment, they need to change their times. That's what I'm thinking. You can't keep having kids playing in this heat. It's just too hot. They're not going to enjoy it. But I think if you shift that time to the evening, the teachers aren't going to like it because they want their evenings, but there we go. Maybe they'll prefer it to working in the day, but no, in Japanese schools, what they'll do is just work all throughout the day and then also do baseball in the evening, because when it comes to taking time off, the Japanese don't like to do it, or no, they like to do it. The bosses don't like them doing it for some reason, and they follow the rules. But this is good. I think all sports in Japan should do this at the moment in the summer. It's just too hot, really, really too hot, like dangerously hot. I think if they carry on in the summer, there will be deaths, and I'm not over exaggerating this, because you just can't keep playing in this heat. It's unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable, especially like baseball where you're just standing somewhere, just the sun beating down on you. Oh no, absolutely not. Or you would need more breaks. I guess baseball is kind of a better sport than like tennis, because tennis goes on for so long, but at least with baseball they have inning breaks, don't you? So you change quite a lot in innings of baseball. It's what, 15 minutes, I'd say 10 minutes every inning, and then you change to a new one, so at least you get a chance to have a drink of water and get cooler. But yeah, this is much better in the evening. Good job, Japan. A good decision. Next news story for you is some Japanese train fares are going to be going up, and they're going up by about 7%, so quite a lot. JR East gets the okay to raise fares on some of their lines, and there's a bit of a price difference. Apparently, though, good on Japan Railway. This has been the first major full-scale price rising since 1987. That is amazing. I'm not going to say that Japan Railway is cheap. I've been to other countries where it is cheaper. The Shinkansen is very expensive. That is not cheap. But certainly, like metro trains are much cheaper in Japan than the UK. Much cheaper. Like significantly cheaper. So if I get like a day pass in London, eventually on the Oyster card, if you travel around so much, I think you hit like a day cap where it caps out. It's about £25, which is pretty expensive. I don't know how much £25 mean. That would be like 3,000 or 4,000 yen, depending on when the time is. So it would take a lot to go over that. It really would. It would take a lot of doing on a Japanese like Tokyo metro line. I don't even know if I could do that. It's really expensive in the UK, but that is one of the nice things. Not all the trains are super cheap, but some of them are. Shinkansen, definitely not. Shinkansen cost you an arm and a leg, and I don't like how recently they aren't putting on enough non-reserved seats. So a lot of people are standing. Don't believe everything you hear about Japan, saying it's a wonderful, perfect place. And how fantastically fast the trains are, and you get lovely seats. And when you do get a seat, it is nice. But at the moment, they are not putting enough non-reserved seats on, especially on like tourist busy lines. So I'm talking your Osaka, Kyoto, Tokyo. Those three. If you're getting a train from one of those, especially in a busy time, I actually recommend making sure you get a reserved seat and not a non-reserved seat, because there is a good chance you could end up standing for the whole thing, especially if you're traveling with a family. I mean, just don't even think about booking a non-reserved seats, because there will be like seats in weird places. So yeah, that's the train travel for you. You have to enjoy it. Not as good as everyone makes out it to be, but Japan is the king of marketing. They really are. Everything about Japan, in my opinion, is a little bit exaggerated. Just a little bit exaggerated. Next news story for you is about animals. The very nice. It's very hot at the moment, as I said with the baseball. Animals are being given big blocks of ice in the zoo, and you've got these fantastic pictures of like polar bears receiving ice and everything, and it's nice to see the zoos doing some good stuff. Some of the zoos in Japan for human welfare are not the best. I went to Fukuoka Zoo. I thought that was pretty good. I had a good time. My sister went to a different zoo, and I can't remember where she said she went. And she said she was like shocked with it all, and the cages were too small. The animals didn't look healthy, and she was like, "Yeah, I don't want to go back to another Japanese zoo." The one I went to in Fukuoka was pretty good. I didn't have any problems with it when I went. I remember the tiger's cage being a little bit small, their enclosure, but everywhere else I thought was pretty standard zoo. So yeah. I don't know with animal stuff, but it's nice to see that they are giving them some ice to cool them down. And I saw the picture of the polar bear sitting next to all the ice, and I was like, oh wow, I wish that was me. I wish I was sitting on a block of ice at the moment, because it is hot. It is HOT hot. Too hot. And our next news story is... Oh, salaries are going up. That's nice. Salaries have been going up for the second year straight, and they're about getting 5% for the second year in a row, which is very, very good in Japan. It's nice to see we're getting paid more. I did get a pay rise recently as well, so this is coming around. So look at that. Japan, giving out more money. Love it. Good stuff. Good job, Japan. You keep that up. Keep the salaries up. Keep them high. Keep them high. I wish you could keep the yen value high as well, so that my money would be able to translate back to money in the UK. But hey ho, it's an interesting stuff. We shall see. It's funny, you can never have a good news story. So in the article, it's talking about major companies, and then it says like minor companies haven't passed pay rises. Well, it's kind of up to your own company, but it's nice to see the big ones are doing it. Hopefully, the big ones lead with an example. That's good. I like that. More money is good. More money for everyone is good. Now give me more vacation, more vacation and more money. And that's news story. I think we got one more news story. It was this week the 80th anniversary since the nuclear bombs were dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and it was interesting to see how Britain celebrated, not celebrated, that's the wrong word, commemorated this time, and they did a lot of things that I didn't expect. The Coventry Cathedral, the place that I went to university in Coventry, there's a very nice cathedral there. They had a service just for these events, and they did a lot of things going on for it. The UK put on a lot of different events for this, which I was very surprised. I didn't think that they would do so many things, but there's a lot of memorials and a lot of services going on. It's really good to see the UK doing stuff like this. I was very nice to see Britain in a good light in Japanese newspapers. Normally, when Britain comes up in a Japanese newspaper, I go, "Oh no, what have we done now? What's going on?" But nice to see we come up in a good light for once. Very nice, very nice. And that's going to be the end of all the stuff going on here in Japan. Just what's going on with me in the old Tsushima at the moment. The weather has been hot. I've been doing some snorkeling. It's beautiful, beautiful weather. I'm getting off the island this weekend. Very excited for that. And that's pretty much it. There's not been many news stories with me at the moment. Enjoying the summer vacation. It's been very, very nice. And I hope you're enjoying your summer vacation too. And if you are, be sure to like and subscribe so you can watch some more of my videos. And I shall see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Oh, enjoy yourself a good cup of tea this summer. Enjoy. Goodbye.